All right, real estate investors, Dean Gazowski here, 96 eastbound, heading to go meet an appraiser on a house that we actually were selling on the retail market. This is, it's actually pretty fun when you are able to discern what's happening in a particular market. Let me tell you about Hamtramck real quick. You got a lot of multifamily in Hamtramck right now, and you also have single family. Now, one of these scenarios that you've got, truck's just beeping at me, saying thank you, beep beep. Like you ever remember as a kid, you were, you know, pumping your fists and getting them to beep their horn, those truckers. I digress. Let's talk about Hamtramck again. Let's see if we can stay on track with this bad boy. So, multifamily, single family. Now, when you find a glitch in the matrix, so to speak, where there is a gap, you jump on that opportunity. Now, here's what happened, okay? I've got this one particular house over on Holbrook Street that I decided to sell as a single family. Now, it's got 2 furnaces, 2 hot water tanks, 2 fuse panels. The thing looks like a double family, a multi-family, you know, upper, lower, and flat, just like you've got out there. You got rows and rows of these houses. Here's what you got to understand, is that the single families are selling on the open market for more than what the multifamilies are selling for, by like $40,000 to $50,000. All right. Now, I did check this morning to find out what properties were active on the market out there, and there's nothing. So don't try to, you know, jump off this video and check out the MLS. Although it's probably a good thing to do on occasion, because again, there is such a dried up supply of inventory right now in this market that you're training your mind. Like, I guess the entrepreneur's mindset is to, you know, be trained to find where's the next deal? Where is the next deal? You know, I'm not going to get too deep into this conversation, but you know, my partner and I just got off the phone. We got these mastermind calls that are coming up. You know, today is a new term of our mastermind that we're part of, and we are in these breakout groups. And he takes the early call just because he's, you know, things that he's working on during the day. But you know, one of the main topics is, you know, because there's such a lack of inventory on the market for house flips, right? And that affects the wholesalers. There's such a lack of inventory right now where the mindset is shifting, because you got to keep your investors' money moving. They're going right to cash flow properties, okay? Which in turn is going to go ahead and have an effect on the amount of money that you can actually pay for that investor money. And that's, you know, that turns us into a conversation that we're having, or going to have tonight with a lender. Okay, so if you know of anybody that's looking for opportunities to get their money working, that's not in the stock market and it's backed by real estate, you know, consider us. Give me a shout. Anyhow, so going back to Hamtramck, the single family, multifamily situation, there's a $40,000 to $50,000 gap for what the single families are selling for more. In this one particular house, I've got it, you know, under contract for like $195,000. And if I was to sell that on the multifamily market, I'd be lucky to get $175,000. This particular property, that particular condition. So again, I encourage you to look at all these different markets and discern what is happening. How can you remain competitive? Okay? There's opportunities all around us. Don't be shy. Find out where they are, and don't be afraid to pull the trigger. And if you have trouble time with actually discerning what the market's telling you, or what a property would sell for, again, reach out to us. One more thing to add: when you are wholesalers, I'm talking directly to you right now. When you have the scenario where you're looking at a property, it is no longer 70% minus repair, okay? Don't use that as your base formula. In fact, you could probably just throw that out the window. You need to look at every particular deal differently. Know what your numbers are, know what your ARV is going to be, and also know what the end product is going to sell for your investor that you're selling the property to. Here's what I mean by this. Let me sum it up so I'm not ranting. If a mortgage, half a percent on a mortgage rate, mortgage rate goes up, what I'm going to try to say here, half a point increase in your mortgage rates. That's the end buyer, that's not the investor, okay? That's going to have an effect of roughly 11% purchasing power on your end buyer. That's the person that's buying FHA, conventional. All right, think about that. So now you got to bake that into your deal. 11%, $150,000 house. Now you got to count on $140,000 as your purchasing power, which is $10,000 less. So I mean, we need to be a little bit, closer to the 11%, as a general rule. But if I'm making a prediction here, I think you need to be prepared for that. I don't know that you're actually going to have to cash in on that, or you're going to be held accountable for that in terms of be prepared for it, but don't be surprised that you don't actually have to sell the house for that 11% decrease in price, because the White House just sent out a memo today, something that this is in light of it's a bipartisan act. They're throwing more money at this thing, even though you got mortgage interest rates are going up. Okay, that's happening. That's going to have an effect on purchasing power, but there's still a demand for housing. Okay, there's a lack of inventory, even though the days on market, they're going up. Understand that there are people that still need to spend this money. Now, one of the things that was in this White House memo, it mentioned that there's new programs here in Michigan. They just announced more MSHDA money. It's $10,000 as opposed to $7,500 down payment assistance, right? And I'm not going to get into the whole hierarchy of, offers that when you're on the retail market, the cash, conventional FHA. But just know that there's money there as down payment assistance to help keep the velocity of money moving. The government is watching that. Since they're printing all this money, they need it to move. So they're going to give you more incentive to do what they want you to do. And that's probably the best thing, the last 15 seconds, what I just said there. The best part of this whole video. So you got to understand that the government is going to give you incentive to do what they want you to do, and that is spend money. All right, they need to keep this machine moving because they're printing so much of this cashola. Anyhow, thought I wanted to add that. If you're interested in coming to the mastermind, one quick plug is at the end of the video here. We're doing a mastermind for investor-minded agents and investors, wholesalers. We got Ron Walraven coming in, godfather of Metro Detroit real estate. Okay, this guy knows his business. He knows his numbers. He knows his marketing dollars. Okay, if you're looking for deals, you have to be well networked. Okay, you're not going to be able to really find a ton of deals on the MLS. You're not going to be able to find a ton of, our pay-per-click is a little flat right now. Our marketing dollars, that's why we're putting on this mastermind. We do these on a regular basis. Okay, you got to get around and cultivate new ideas. You're not always going to get your ideas from YouTube. You got to get in that synergy effect. Get together with your group of people that you trust. So if you're interested in coming to that, let me know, and I will surely get you a seat. But bookmark the time. It's on the 18th, which is this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're not doing Zoom. This is going to be in person. So if you want to show up, show up. Let's get the job done. We'll check you guys soon. Dean Gazowski, 3D Property Solutions.